In this video, I will be talking about 5 creature mods that you should be using. Now, it is worth noting that 2 of these are collective of creatures, or what rather are a collective of creatures and are the exception, rather than it being just one creature and its variants. This list is in collaboration with multiple members of the Depths Cord. Shout out to all that got involved. Thank you all so much for your help. That aside, nothing from Paleo Arc will be in this list, as that is too easy, and there are already 5 mods within Paleo Arc. They would literally take up the whole video. So, they are out at this time. Also, these are in no particular order, so with that in mind, let us begin with number 5. Okay, starting off this list is Big Al's Karcha TLC. This takes the already kinda cool Karcha and makes it even more insane. While the taming method is still the same, there are many a difference between it and the base one. Better scale work, a cosmetic roar, and a much better run cycle. Like, my goodness. Someone in the Depths Court actually said that the vanilla one looks like it crapped himself while running, and I fully agree. Big Al replaced that funky run cycle with a much more menacing power walk. On screen right now is both Vanilla and Big Al's Karcha running in the open desert. As you can see, there is a massive difference. The TLC still retains the Blood Rage mechanic and the tail swing. I watched Big Al craft this thing, and I must say it is inspiring to watch a mod dev put so much passion and effort into remaking an already pretty cool creature. Also, if you happen to have lines of vanilla Karchas and want to use the TLC instead, you can walk up to the Karcha and convert it over to the Big Al version. This works also with the Arcology Karcha. And this mechanic works exactly like the Paleo Arc TLC mods, which is very nice cohesion rather between mods. Oh yeah, there's one more thing. If the kaiju-sized Karcha isn't your speed, Big Al went the extra mile and created a smaller Rex-tiered Karcha in a separate mod. There is even an aberrant version of said smaller version, so you have options on this. Big Al certainly cooked with this one, an improved replacement to an already perfect, well, almost perfect Apex Predator. Up next is Zungaratherium, the Chinese cousin to Ark's very own Paraceratherium. Fun fact, this creature was a collaboration between multiple devs and artists. Dark Edge TV, Tristan, Vicar, Clay, and Mordekaiser. This is a bigger and meaner Paracer, tamed via cannon fire. This creature is probably one of the more useful creatures on this list. It is worth noting that you don't need to shoot Zung in the head per se. You can shoot it anywhere and the torpor will still be gained, making it even easier than, say, the base game's Titanosaur or Rock Golem. So, what else is this massive creature capable of? It has a stomp attack, mega stomp attack, and a neck swing. And using the spacebar or jump button, Zung can taunt other creatures to come and attack it. Pressing X on PC, you are able to enter a block stance. What makes this last thing so interesting is you are able to, well, block attacks. This makes Zung one of the best creatures to use in taming the Evo Giganotosaurus. How? Well, it doesn't bleed. It negates bleed attacks. So this is one of the few herbivores that can stand against a Giga, modded or no. There is also 5 to 6 variants of Zungaratherium. There's the standard one, Aberrant, Scorched Earth, Elder, and Alpha. On screen is where these creatures spawn, and alphas have a chance to replace the those standard variants as well. What is the other variant? It is the Arcology variant, because of course there is an Arcology Zungaratherium. There is an Arcology of pretty much every super cool modded creature, isn't there? I'm absolutely joking. Arcology is amazing. Zung also features 3 saddles: the standard saddle, the armored saddle, which looks really really cool. I love the mammoth tusks on the saddle. That's really cool, and a platform saddle, which is the newest addition. Of course, where you can get each of the saddles is on screen along with the visual aid. This apex herbivore is a lot of fun. It is my go-to for, well, big herbivores. If anything, this is one you definitely want on your team for like say an herbivore only run of the game, or just to have as the ultimate defense. Oh, this thing is so stinking cool, man. Now, up next is the first of the 2 collective mods on this list, that is No Untamables. Now, honestly, I didn't think much of this mod until Dark Edge TV's videos on it. And I do mean videos. There's multiple on this mod, and while I didn't pay much mind to the tameable bugs like the jug bug, ants, and all that stuff, in fact, there's one jug bug we're going to get into a little bit later that did actually get my attention. The main things that got my attention were the death worms and the Reaper Queen being tameable. Now, I'll get into the queens in just a second, but the death worms being tameable is the coolest thing ever. Not only because we get to see the full body, we don't need vanilla, mind you, because the rest of their body's in the ground. These things turn on a dime and can move side to side. I don't recall if I actually got footage of that, but are you kidding me? That is so stinking cool. And what do you mean we get to go full graboid and snatch things off the surface? Huh? That's incredible. The death worms alone is what upsets me that I didn't check out this mod sooner. But and I could go all day about the tameable death worms, but now let's talk about the Reapers. Now this one is actually my favorite thing about this mod, and that is having a Reaper Queen that you can just tame. Now it's done via the same channels, but what makes it this interesting is that you don't get one straight away. There's a chance that you end up with a male instead and have to work for it. So you're going to be getting impregnated by a Reaper a lot before you end up getting a female. That in itself makes me want to go for it even more. And that's not meant. And what makes it cool is if you do happen to get a female. Now, I don't recall if this is. I mean, Becca's videos were from quite a while ago, mind you, and I don't know if this is still a thing. I would still need to check. There will be text on screen to confirm it. But if memory serves, you can actually breed the Reaper Queen with the King and just get baby ones like that. Now, if this is still in the game, that's really stinking cool. Now, I mentioned the jug bugs here earlier, but let's get into the one jug bug that actually got my attention the most, and that is the fact that there is an element jug bug, a part of the No Untamables mod. So getting element is even easier if you have No Untamables downloaded. Mind you, I get mine through fighting modded world bosses. This is much easier and admittedly way less stressful. Whoa. What the heck? Yo, what just happened? Let's continue with the Sunken World. Like with No Untamables, I have no prior experience playing with this mod. However, many people have spoken very highly of it, and now that I have played around with it a bunch, I can agree. Dark Edge TV actively has it on her servers for this reason or another. Shark repellent being one of them, which already sounds great. 2 armor sets, some structures, and weapons. Now, mind you, one of those armor sets currently isn't working, but it is what it is. I've tried getting blueprints of everything so you all can see what this mod has in store, but it would appear some of the things aren't actually working and the visuals aren't in place at the time of me recording the footage. And finally, the creatures. Oh boy, there are so many. I couldn't get them all, but I did get a good chunk of them. But first of all, we got this little dude right here, Protoceratops, which apparently this one likes sweet things, and that much is also very much true, and that's a whole lot of fun. Then everything else is either a semi-aquatic, like this little whale dude that's right next to the Protoceratops, or a completely aquatic creature. Fish, sharks, marine mammals, the works. There's also variants of vanilla creatures. Note that a good chunk of these aren't actually done. This being that the sunken world is actually meant to be its own map. Some would call this a much better Aquatica, and I'm elected to agree here. The developer is actively working on said map, and full release, I believe, is on the horizon. I could be wrong there, and if so, correction will be on screen. But like before, I don't want to spend too much time on this one as we would be here for ages. Once more, onto the breach. Dark Edge TV, last time I promise, has made content covering the creatures of this mod in multiple videos. Check them out if you have not. I didn't know about this mod without our content and the members of the Depth Score telling me how actually cool this mod is. No, really, you guys. I've barely dipped my toes into the ocean, of content, and I have to say I'm enjoying myself thus far. If you want Ark's oceans to be a whole lot more livelier, this is the mod for you. I don't think anyone would disagree that the ocean needs some level of attention. This is one of the mods to fix that issue. Jump into the depths with the Sunken World additions. And yes, that pun was very much intended. But of course, before we get into the number one mod, mind you, again, these mods are in no particular order. Let's go and get into the honorable mentions. That is, of course, Paleoarch's mods, all 5 of them. The Addition Ascended mods, well, the creatures that are still modded anyway, the whole 2 of them. And I guess the mods of the creatures that are now in the vanilla game as well. Arcology New Encounters, Arcology Desolate Titan, and Happy Polis. All of Tristan's additional creatures, the whole lot of them. Daemonus, Tyrannodominator. Clay's creature edits, which there's a few I haven't checked out yet, but I really want to. Faye's Ascended Menagerie, and finally, all of Moro's creature mods. And by the way, that upcoming Quetzal Hybrid mod, which, by the way, I'll put some pictures on screen. This thing is cool and terrifying, and I can't wait to get my hands on it, because holy wow, look at this thing. But now, let's get into the number 1 spot for this video. And finally, at number 1, again in no particular order, is the terrifying theropod that is Meraxes. Now, this creature did appear in ASE, but I didn't actually have the chance to check it out then. But fast forward now to ASA with a big old TLC for this lovely thing, and this is a decent-sized creature. Around the size of, say, a Rex and a little bit bigger than an Aloe. Actually, scratch that. It's way, way bigger than the Aloe. Holy cats. I'd say it's closer to the Big Owls or the small Karja, actually. So, that's really cool too. What makes this theropod, though, a freak of nature is that its taming method. Now, see, most modded creatures, they have their own taming method of a custom food item or a specific thing that you have to do first, and then you tame the creature. Meraxes? No, nothing like that. See, in order to tame this thing, you feed it babies, tamed or otherwise. Now, in my own experience, I've used Eutyrannus as an offering to this creature, and that worked out well enough. Rex Tyrannosaurus, Eutyrannus, duh, or even Gigas work well for this taming, and also, I guess, by extension, Karchas too, since Gigas work as well. Now, once you've tamed Meraxes, you got a solid replacement for a Rex in the usual run on the Arcs. He has, of course, your standard bite, of course, stomp attack, and a healing buff. This is accessible by pressing C on, well, PC. This will allow Meraxes to heal with the caveat of draining food rapidly. Now, there's also Cosmetic Roar that is available by pressing X on PS5, I believe it's A on Xbox, and right control on PC. The final thing is a rage mechanic similar to that of Acro or Giganotosaurus. This triggers mounted or not. Now, note that you will not be thrown off the back if you are riding Meraxes. The previously mentioned stomp attack can then be chained into a tail strike, and when used on small creatures, will send the said small creatures flying, which is actually pretty stinking funny. Now, mind you, there's also now when you're taming Meraxes, specifically the tech variant, during its taming, this thing will do its stomp attack and catch the creature, the taming food, quote unquote, in its mouth, and inhale the targets with a grinder that's located in its mouth. So that's horrifying. Speaking of variants, let's get into those. Of course, there is the standard Meraxes, Scorched Meraxes, and Tech Meraxes that was mentioned previously. There's also an Arcology and Paleo Meraxes, requiring both Arcology New Encounters and Paleoarc Ascension respectively in order for those to spawn. 5 variants of Meraxes exist in the game. Actually, I just remembered something. There is technically another. The Corrupted Meraxes boss. Now, once you've reached level 105 and collected 50 Meraxes hearts, you are able to take this thing on. Now, it is around the size of a Giga. It does all the rage mechanic stuff straight away, and it will despawn if it's around too many structures. So fighting this thing in the Rag Desert, for example, is the best bet, like I did in my video facing the Corrupted Meraxes boss. Check that video out if you have not. Now, Corrupted Meraxes has reduced damage against the following creatures: Vanilla and Paleo Giga, Vanilla Arcology and Big Al's Karja, so all of those variants, Desola Titan, Dreadnoughtus, Reaper Kings, and Moros the Moro Rex. They take much more damage, those creatures, so it is not recommended to use those, like, at all. However, there is a bit of a silver lining. See, I did mention that this thing is a corrupted creature, correct? So the tech creatures and mechs, and specifically the Paleo Rex, the Paleo Rex was called out specifically, do extra damage. So there's options on how to take on this beast of a creature. Meraxes is a lot of fun, and the boss just adds a little extra if you're into mods that add, extra challenge. There's also all of this with the chippies, which I'm going to have a screenshot on screen or a little video that literally highlights all of them. Meraxes adds chibis that actually serve a purpose aside from just, level boosting. Meraxes is a mod you want if you want a little extra fun and challenge on your arc. That thing is really cool. And of course, check it out if you have not. Well, all right, friends, that is it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and thank you all so much for your patience as I kind of slowly trudge along making content. I do appreciate everyone, being super supportive and whatnot as I try to navigate this thing. I'm not going to start the next video straight away, but it will come out soon. I have ideas on what I want to do next, and it's not another top 5. And I hope the honorable mentions also made it clear that this video could have been much longer. Like, this one is already 20 minutes. It could have been double the length if I did 10 mods. And there was no shortage of options, which is why there were so many honorable mentions in that one section. But I do want to say thank you to all of you. I really do appreciate it, and it means the world to me that so many people were just patiently waiting for me to post again, and everyone was super chill about it. And shout out to the folks that did check out some of the Choo Choo Charles videos that I did post out. Thank you very much for that. Oh my gosh, tongue twisters. Hello. But thank you also for 3,646 subscribers at time of me recording this. Holy cow, this is incredible. But yeah, as I said, drop a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're new, all that fun stuff. Let me know, what are your favorite creature mods? And in the comment section below. Thank you all so much, and don't worry, I'll see you all tonight. Have a good one.